His greatest asset has been to whip up euphoria
Hmm.
that was enviable to look at in the beginning, but that's also a foggy place to be in if you're not doing anything else, machinery wise or economy wise, and simply by the act of the government. It's all rhetoric, all euphoria, and very little results. It'll take some time for us to really understand uh, the stagnation that has been caused, and communal harmony can be achieved through a proper dialogue, which instead of driving a wedge, uh, we could become the fulcrum and lift that deadly weight off the shoulders. Anything new is unclear.
Hmm.
So for them, they won't try a new game, they won't try a new food, anything. Then suddenly everyone wants to eat noodles, and it's like that. Uh, Anything new they don't want to try, and they say, "I'm not clear. I don't know whether it'll be suitable for me." So casteism could have worked in a naive society like that, but it will never and should never be used as a number system in a modern society.
Hello and welcome to this very special interview. Today we have with us actor turned politician and founder of Makkal Needhi Maiam from Tamil Nadu. Thank you so much, sir, for agreeing to do this interview. He founded his political party in 2018, and this time it is full-fledged participation in the politics after 2019 general elections. So my first question to you is: you're fighting from Coimbatore South constituency. BJP has a strong presence over there, and there are communal issues here. How will you unite the people in your favor, and how confident are you in winning from that particular constituency?
The reason why I chose the constituency is already explained by you. In your question. I think it's a perfect place to exemplify what you can achieve by amity and communal harmony can be achieved through a proper dialogue, which instead of driving a wedge, uh, we could become the fulcrum and lift that deadly weight off the shoulders, looming over otherwise successful enterprising city. And I think it'll be an impedance to the growth of the sector in a way if we indulge in these kind of shenanigans.
Sir, how different is your political ideology from the rest of the party? Because some have expressed concern that your party has no clear ideological position. How do you respond to that?
Anything new is unclear.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, they won't try a new game, they won't try a new food, anything. Then suddenly everyone wants to eat noodles, and it's like that. Uh, Anything new they don't want to try, and they say, "I'm not clear. I don't know whether it'll be suitable for me." The fact is, centrism has evolved from discontent with other isms, and that's why it's gaining momentum internationally. And like how they heckled communism in the beginning, or any of the isms for that matter, even Gandhiji's attitude of non-violence as a political weapon was indeed laughed at in a very martial world at that time. But he had become a trendsetter And what is centrism is that it does not stick on to a what do you call be firm about an ideology and sacrifice uh, the harmony and comfort of the people. You cannot just insist on an ideology and refuse the right to services to people. If there is something that people need, you have to bend that ideology to the very idea that we came up with all these systems. This is for the benefit of the people and the civic society. So I think that kind of a mindset will soon become the world order, where centrism will be respected by all sectors and become a way of life. Like
Sir,
how we
yeah.
embraced democracy. First, it sounded like an impractical dream where only monarchy and other things seem to be working. And you always treated people like they were livestock. And then when you suddenly gave them personalities, democracy worked. It took about 2,000 years to actually work. But I think centrism will work even much faster. But it's been there for some time in everybody's mind. Valluvar talks of that in Tamil. Nadu Nilamai is something that he recommends in every sphere. And it would be absolutely right in, in a field like politics.
Sir, casteism, it's very important factor in not just Indian elections, but also in Tamil Nadu. How do you think the youths of the state are responding to this in terms of breaking the shackles of casteism in the state?
Yes, see what we had done. It's a simple system. If you look at it from the point of view of the old-time kings who were, what do you call, getting things together and getting a grip on uh, civic governance, it was a bifurcation which was convenient for them. It was not humane, if anything, but it was convenient. So they just divided them in groups. It's a very naive way of dividing human beings without fully understanding the potential of an individual. So casteism could have worked in a naive society like that, but it will never and should never be used as a number system in a modern society. Every time you try it, it will fail. In a modern society where education is free for all, thinking is freed further, and the universal suffrage and voting and right to women, all of these have changed these, what do you call, the tenets of casteism and what it's trying to imply. So I think it'll go away slowly, but not maybe in my time. But we are the process, and that's why the turmoil seems like it's very recent and now. But this kind of inertia will go away. Suddenly, the funnel will have to open up somewhere, and everything will splatter all around, and then there will be a certain amount of understanding.
So,
There
sir,
was a
you,
time
yeah.
in America that slavery seemed to be the most natural thing to do, and now suddenly it seems to be the unimaginable thing. How did we ever do it at all? So casteism will go away like that, and for the from the time of Siddhars in Tamil, they've been screaming against casteism. So this is a process, a 1,000-year process that I'm part of. I'm only trying to expedite it, that it'll happen, if not in my time, at least in my another couple of generations away. They will, but we have to sow the seed now. That's what is happening.
So
It'll
what
go.
is, yeah. So, what is you have spoken about so many new things, new schemes, eradicating corruption. Then you announced those allowances for housewives in Tamil Nadu, which was in a way replicated by some other parties who criticized you initially. If I can ask you, what is your dream, economic dream for the state of Tamil Nadu, if your party comes to power?
It's dream is something, if you have to quote Adi Shankara, you'll have to be awake in a dream,
Mm-hmm.
especially in these kind of things. So better not to use the word dream,
Mm-hmm.
but goals.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's excellence is probably the good word to use, not the word perfect. And um, sort of trying to reduce and slowly eliminate is a better word to use than eradicate corruption, because it's not going to happen, because it's not a general promulgated rule that corruption be gone and it'll be gone. It won't. It's an individual process. It's like saying that let's have a flat-bellied Tamil Nadu, washboard stomachs for everybody. It's not going to happen unless the individual puts in the effort. So I am not going to be that magic wand who will take away corruption. It's us. But we have to put in places systems, checks, dikes, and dams where it will be very, very difficult to be corrupt. And the earnestness and honesty should start at the top, and not at the bottom where you start with punitive measures for small misdemeanors. It's a big avarice that has to be punished in a big, grand manner, and it's not enough that a chief minister in in the chair went to jail. We seem to forget it's not enough, or we have forgotten totally, and we are getting all set to reimpose that person in the seat. Then what are we thinking about corruption at all? What is politics according to the polity? If they're going to bring back a criminal, and you have choice between one criminal or another, so what are you and I doing? Why are we pawns in the hands of thugs and lumpens? And that is the question that brought me into politics. How I will eliminate all of this from here is not the question. How we are going to work towards it. And this is a process, and we've started it. And this revolution has begun now.
So,
Independence is
yeah,
a responsibility, like Gandhiji said.
yeah.
And even if we change the government, you cannot delegate it to me. I am just a person, and I have a vision, but use that vision, and everybody has to see through that frame of mind. And that's why I trust the youth of India to help me, Tamil Nadu especially. Store up the anger, but do not explode. Use that energy to achieve what you have to. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be angry. Anger is a very important element. Righteous wrath is what drives you. It gives you that extra energy that you would otherwise not have. And glucose won't do it sometimes.
Sir, just few like two, three more questions. I know you are short of time. Sir, as an outsider earlier and now in politics yourself, full-time politician, how your perceptions have changed about the politics? The reason I'm asking this is recently some well-known journalists and commentators from Tamil Nadu said that politics is all about money, muscle, cash, and that's why it has become a game of power and not a medium to serve the people. So how do you view this thing?
It's always been that.
Mm-hmm.
It's people with vision who change the thing. It's always been about money, power, and muscle, and that's not how it should be. And how far? have we moved away from Rome?
Mm-hmm.
We should. And we still speak about republic. Rome had republic. Greece had democracy. So it's not that we have solved the problems. Politics is work in progress, and it'll keep on. That's why you keep coming up with things, new things like centrism. So I am part of a work in progress. I'm a mason, not in the what do you call the club, Masonic lodge or anything. I'm a mason who's building. I'm in the process. Very few will lean back and look at the whole design and find their part in it. All of them do it either mechanically or get lost in this thuggery and muscle and power struggle. There has to be a moment when a few of us will have to lean back and look at the edifice and see how much more construction is to be done and not just go macro and lose ourselves into this. And I think the time has come when the information windows have all opened up for the youth. Everybody is aware of things happening around. And the right to information is another important thing that is going to empower the voter, and they must take it seriously, like they would their right to travel or right to fall in love. It is like that. It's as important as that. And you must use that information. And that way you will know what party to vote as well, because
Sir,
you have the information.
yeah. So if I can ask, what is that one USP of your political party that you're offering something different to the people of Tamil Nadu, that they should come and vote to you? What is that one different thing that you want to, execute if you win?
Unfortunately, sorry, sir, I have nothing new to offer. I have a
Mm-hmm.
very old thing
Mm-hmm.
which has been forgotten, that
Okay.
the purpose of politics is to make a better society. The purpose of politics is not, as you say, the exchange of power from one clever being to the hands of another clever being, or party for that matter. It has to be for a commune reason, the community reason. And once you make that choice, everything falls in place. And that's why Gandhi works for me. Gandhi is still not outdated for me, because that's the kind of vision I should have. And you would have noticed that I don't use the word Mahatma when I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mention
Yeah.
Gandhi. I think deifying him or sellotaping angel's wing to him, it's not going to work. He is human and imitable, and it's not a hard act to follow. If you're uh, if you have a mindset, he is an easy act to follow. But if you don't have the mindset, he will be deified, and he will become a Mahatma and far out of our reach. And I
So
think
how? Yeah.
among the youth, you can find many more Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Only thing is, we'll have to give them the scope and trust them with their vision. And I've seen many young people. I envy them because I wasn't that clear at that age. I might have been sharp or clever or even call it intelligent, but the clarity with which some of them, not all of them, but these are the people who are true leaders and they don't want to lead, which is so unfortunate or tragic. And that is the USP of Makkal Needhi Maiam. And we believe that the youth or the young mindset should become the leading light. And so I'm looking up to the youth to lead, the
Sir,
women to
yeah.
lead.
Sir, I
And
know you have been asked. Yeah, sorry, please
I'm
continue. Yeah. Sir, I know you have been asked these questions several times, that what went into the selection of candidates for the election. If I can ask, what thoughts or what criteria, so maybe the parameters you thought before selecting or giving tickets to candidates to fight in this election? The reason I'm asking this is because criminalization in politics in India, in Tamil Nadu, it has increased. I mean, you know this better than me. So what thought process went behind that?
So very clearly, we avoided people with already any pending criminal case or criminal background. So simply we were choosing it like you would choose a teacher for your child. You'll see to it that that man is not a pedophile to begin with, and then you'll find that he is not alcoholic or have any some drug habit or anything like that, or it doesn't add on to the confusion of the child. So it's similar to that because these leaders will have to uh, actually help mold the society, and they can't be thugs. And that's a basic prima facie. We saw to it that they didn't have any criminal records. But more important than that was that their um, intention and earnestness to be part of this. Why at all did they come? Is an inquiry, and most of the time it's answered by what they have already done in the field in social service. And all of the people that we have selected are achievers in one way or another, uh, want to expand their contribution to society.
So my
Some of them are
last, yeah.
NGOs working, helping. They must have reached out
Yeah.
to 5,000 people, and
Yeah.
every number counts for them. And what if I can make it 50,000? What if I can make it 500,000? Is there, and what do I need to do to make this welfare go beyond my range? And we are empowering them, giving them the power to enact their uh, good deeds in a larger spectrum.
So my last question to be sure, thank you for your time. So how do you see the communalization of politics in India, resurgence of communal issues? Associated question with that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi is serving his second term. What do you think are his failures and what are the things that he has done or the areas in which he has performed well? Like last question.
His greatest asset has been to whip up euphoria that was enviable to look at in the beginning, but that's also a foggy place to be in if you're not doing anything else machinery wise or economy wise, and simply by the act of the government. It's all rhetoric, all euphoria, and very little results. It'll take some time for us to really understand uh, the stagnation that has been caused by, I can't say that it's one human being who's been responsible. It's a very old fashioned ideology of nation, of a patriotism. It's all very old fashioned, but I think we'll have to update. And it'll happen. Even within his own party, it's bound to happen because uh, uh, the first original Congress consisted of all these elements put together, and they split up and became two. We can further splinter it so that the old fashioned idea will sort of dissolve itself into a new form. We don't need to solidify anything now. We
Okay.
can be in a fluid state of uh, moving from one excellence to another.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to us here at the Logical Indian. Thank you so much, sir.
No, no.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
My pleasure.